Vintage headquarters in Atlanta. I'm going to show you what we have in progress, up for grabs, for sale, that'll be ready next week. And we have one in progress for Christmas delivery, guaranteed before 12/25, December 25th. I'm going to flip this around and okay, this right here is Brittany Blue, beautiful color, 1960s classic color with a Wimbledon white roll bar. And this one right here is in our assembly station and will be done and ready to ship by next week. So if you want something now, you don't want to wait, this is a great color, Wimbledon white grill, just about every option on it. Reach out to us by text or by phone and we can walk you through that. And we have a build that's in progress, up for grabs, that'll be the perfect Christmas present. So there's one of those available, it'll sell quickly. Reach out to our team and we'll share that with you. And keep in mind, these are not restorations, they're not old cars, they're built on a modern 2025 chassis. And what that means for you is that you get the best of both worlds. You get this classic inspired look, built on a modern car, modern 2025 chassis, longer wheelbase, wider track width, all the technology of 2025, all the safety features of a 2025 vehicle, and then the luxury, I can tell you, will be every bit of what you'd find in any $250,000 base price vehicle, inside, outside, craftsmanship, fit and finish. And I'll walk you through how we transform a modern 2025 chassis into this work of art. It's 900 labor hours. So I'm going to start over here and show you, check this out. This right here in final detail is our custom Sherwood green modern classic truck. This color is absolutely stunning. Take a look at that. Chrome trim, body matching grille, tan soft top, no stripes, and then look at that interior. Has the teak wood, has the upgraded premium audio with hidden subwoofer. This tailgate here, rated for 500 pounds. And all of this right here that you see is the blend of art and science. Classic inspired design, but you have the modern technology, you have the modern safety features, and you have all the luxury that you'd expect. And every little detail, every single stitch, all of this here, leather wrapped, Alcantara wrapped, all the highest grade parts. These are billet aluminum handles, super heavy, all done on a CNC machine. These are powder coated and these are black, right? So you've got your black instead of chrome window crank, powers your power windows, and all these details reminiscent of your favorite leather handbag. All handcrafted here in Atlanta, Georgia, where our team is just beautifully blending art and science. And what we mean by that is that it's all handcrafted. Handcrafted means it's not on an automated robotics assembly line. Everything you see here was stitched by hand, hand assembled, and then we layer in process to be able to make it repeatable. And so what you're looking at here on the outside is brand new sheet metal from Detroit, American made steel. You can hear that sound and you can listen to the door. Gives you that really nice, solid 1960s inspired feel, and down to the touch, but you don't have any rust. You don't have any old car problems. Drives just like your G-Wagon or your Range Rover. And the way it looks is just absolutely stunning. So this one's just about ready to ship. I cannot wait for the client to get it. Really, really great call on the color. This is a custom Sherwood green, never done it before, only one we have ever built in this exact shade. And then all your lines, all your gaps, all your flush completely perfect. Show quality paint job, brand new steel body, built on top of a 2025 modern car chassis. So you have LED headlights, you have this beautiful steel bumper from Detroit, American made, brand new, and then we chromed it in Detroit as well. And then underneath the hood, I'll show you one that's open, modern 2025 Ford drivetrain with performance options from Roush, performance options from Fox, and we really were extremely picky about every single vendor, every single partner, and all the parts that we use to be able to put together this piece of art that you could drive every day. Down here you have parking sensors and your backup camera, and it really is blending both vintage and modern together. And the real big thing for us is that at $250,000, you don't really want to have to compromise, right? And what we found was that the typical classic car restorations and resto mods, they've come a long way, but they'll never quite compare to a modern 2025 vehicle. And therefore, if you want the best of both worlds, if you want all the technology like cruise control, hands-free calling, control your music, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, touchscreen navigation, dual zone climate control, all your technology, shift on the fly, 4-wheel drive. By the way, you can choose automatic or manual. We do a 10-speed modern automatic transmission, or you can choose from a 7-speed manual, which is really cool. We built a couple of those. And then shift on the fly, 4-wheel drive, so you don't have to get out if it's snowing or raining. And then all these little details on this are stunning. And then while we're standing here, here are your airbags. You have 6 of them. This is your side impact airbag. You have one in each of the front seats. And you've got your dual stage driver side airbag. You have your dual stage passenger airbag. And then you've got your curtain airbags that give you side and rear passenger protection. So if you have kids, you've got the latch system back here. You can put in the car seats, the booster seats, and you have a functional roll bar. All these things we thought through because we basically wanted to reverse engineer perfection. What would the perfect classic inspired vehicle look like? Well, it would drive the same as your new Range Rover or G-Wagon. It would have all of the modern technology that you're used to. It would have all of the modern safety features you're used to. And then the fit and finish and the details and the craftsmanship and the luxury, there would be no compromises because you're not spending $250,000 because you don't want luxury. And so to do that, we went through great lengths, and I'll show you some behind the scenes and walk you through our whole entire process so you can understand how we went from restoration to modern restoration, Restomod, to a fully modernized vehicle. And this one right here is Brittany Blue. This is one of our vehicles we're finishing up. And again, we have a Brittany Blue on the line, in progress now, will be done next week, up for grabs. You want something right now, shoot us a call or text us, so it's not gonna last very long. And then we have one for Christmas delivery if you want to customize it, pick your own colors. You'll have to move quickly on that, and then that'll be guaranteed delivery by Christmas as well. This one right here, GT Silver, going through punch list, about to go through test miles as well. Really, really nice. It's got the tobacco leaf leather interior. But let me walk you through how we made all this happen. Right here, these are brand new American-made steel body panels. And what I love about this is that when we were in restoration, we would go scour the earth and look for old vintage cars that were in all shapes and sizes, sat in the field, many, many owners, 50, 60 years of ownership. And by the time you actually take metal that's been out in the elements for 50, 60 years, you're gonna have a lot of imperfections and a lot of rust. You gotta replace a lot of it. And with this, you have brand new steel, and these are not made in Taiwan or China. These are stamped in Detroit. And so the quality on these, the fit and finish is absolutely perfect. And that's just the body panels. Then it goes through a whole transformation to turn metal into art. So let me take you back there and show you. Again, these are our body panels right here. All classic inspired. The original classic cars are too narrow and too short. If you look at the geometry of old cars versus new ones, you'll see they're wider and longer. There's a reason for that. The shorter, narrow vehicles don't drive as well. And so they figured out over the course of decades and 50, 60 years of advancement that you want it to be wider and you want it to be longer. So these panels are custom made. We own the molds and the tooling. They're stamped in Detroit. And I'll show you what we do. We take these body panels and instead of going through restoration and trying to make old parts more modern, we take a modern car chassis, this platform underneath, which is what your entire investment rides on, and then we build a classic inspired vehicle on top of it. It's never been done before, especially not at this level of quality and scale. And so all these body panels right here, you can hear how solid they are. They're very heavy and super high quality. And we're really big on lines and gaps and really just making it perfect. And so these guys simply are just pre-fitting it to the chassis just to make sure everything's perfect before we dive into bodywork. And the bodywork is a whole nother set of hundreds of labor hours to get it to be show quality perfect. A little loud back here. I'll take you over to our chassis section so you can see what the difference is. But these guys, they deserve a lot of credit. They do an amazing job. Very, very difficult to find people to do this kind of craftsmanship, this kind of work. Right here is chassis upfitting where we're doing our suspension. You can see right here, lots of sound dampening. We don't think of it as just like an old car because it's not an old car. We put sound dampening everywhere to make it as quiet as possible. And then you've got standard operating procedures and quality checks at every single station. So this right here is our upgraded Fox coilover suspension. Really popular upgrade. If you wanted to drive as nice as possible, like your G-Wagon, like your Range Rover, we know exactly how you want the car to drive. Then these right here were tuned by Fox at the Fox headquarters at their R&D lab. And because this vehicle is literally one of a kind, we're the only ones that build this right on the modern chassis. We needed to tune that suspension with the Fox engineers to make sure it's perfect for our vehicle and tuned and optimized for daily driving on the pavement, on the freeway. So if that's the kind of driving you're doing, you can absolutely drive this every single day in the rain, on the freeway, on a road trip with your kids, and you're not gonna have to think twice. And that was one of the biggest things we found with that old classic geometry, was that those cars were too narrow and they were too short. And so by having a longer wheelbase and by having a wider track width, plus independent front suspension, plus all the modern technology, engineering, and safety features, you're really getting the best of both worlds, because now you don't have to worry about breaking down, you don't have to worry about how the car is going to drive, you don't have to worry about what happens if you get an accident. It gives you the best of both worlds. So again, Brittany Blue in progress now. Someone buy this. You could be driving it next weekend. It's going to move down our assembly line into test miles, into inspection, which I'll show you, goes down through here into final detail where this other Brittany Blue one is, and then it'll be ready to ship. So you want something unique, you want something rare, something nobody else has. But you never wanted to worry about the old car problems. I had the same problem. I had really nice cars, really new cars, and when I started looking at old cars, I was like, shoot, I don't need another job, right? I'm not a mechanic, I have no time, and I don't want to break down. Well, I bought an old Bronco anyway, and sure enough, it broke down. I needed a mechanic full time, and and I was stuck on the side of the road. And that really made me mad, because we're not used to that, right? Today, things just work. Modern engineering reliability has significantly improved over the last 50, 60 years. So instead of trying to make an old car more modern, you get the modern car chassis, and then you get the classic inspired, absolute piece of art, show quality paint job. You can choose from 30 different paint colors, 12 different interior colors, and a whole array of options from grill color to roll bar, to dash, to wheels, to trim, and there are many, many ways to customize it. Go on our website, which is vintagemodern.co. Vintagemodern.co has a configurator on there, and you can play with this very realistic configurator that'll show you all the different paint colors, all the different options, and give you exact pricing as well. So if you want to custom build one, build it on our configurator, text or call our team, reach out, and we'll get you on the schedule and we'll build it for you. And the goal and our commitment is on-time delivery with perfection. It's a very big promise. So let me explain to you how we do that. All right, we're not a restoration shop. We used to do restorations that we built, very, very good looking cars, but not reliable, didn't drive like a modern car, and no safety features. And so we moved and evolved into this factory here in Atlanta, Georgia, one of our facilities, where we basically combined art and science. When we say that, what we mean is that we took the best practices of the big, big companies and blended them with our artists. We have an exceptional team of people here who are extremely good at what they do. But at the end of the day, if you're doing things by memory and by feel, you're not going to be able to build the kind of quality that the big OEMs do. So what we did instead was we broke down every single step in the entire process. There are hundreds of steps, 900 hours of labor, all handcrafted. Then we wrote work instructions for every single step, and we got really, really detailed, like, very, very quantitative in the approach. And so torque spec for every nut and bolt, nothing's done by memory or by feel, and then on top of that we layer in audits. So after this station, everything's completed, quality engineers come in and they check off and check off and check off every single item to make sure it's perfect. If it is not 100%, we don't move it forward. And therefore, instead of trying to catch and inspect at the very end what you did wrong, you build quality into the product. Therefore, during the inspection process, all you're actually doing is validating and validating and validating, as opposed to trying to figure out, because I can tell you hundreds and hundreds and thousands of steps combined. Good luck trying to figure out what happened. And so the process is what allows us to ensure quality. In addition to doing it this way, we know exactly how long everything takes, down to the station, down to the task, down to the vehicle, down to the day, and we know the takt time, T-A-K-T. Takt time tells us exactly how many steps, how many hours we need to build a vehicle. So when we say that that's going to be done by X date, barring any kind of major unforeseen thing, it's going to happen. And that's the beauty of building with process. Again, that's art. These incredible craftsmen and women who are extremely good. What's up, man? How you doing? Who are really great. I just interviewed them last week. Who are really great at what they do. And now we give them tools and process and science and engineering to ensure that it isn't just a feel thing. And I still debate if I'm more of an artist or a scientist, but I feel like at the end of the day, you have to have both if you're going to build vehicles. The world does not need a mediocre car company. People put their families in these things, and we always take that really, really seriously, a huge obligation. And it's not just quality, like it's got to look good. I mean, you're driving in this thing on the freeway with your family. That better be built correctly, or it's a big problem, right? And so the way we do that is not just through will or sheer desire, it's through process. And that process is repeatable for us. So here we are standing in front of Raven Black. If you've been following along in the live, you saw it hit the assembly line a couple days ago, and I love this one because it's the very first Raven Black we've done with cognac interior. Cognac, I just love saying that, I don't know. I'm not a cognac drinker. I hear it's pretty strong, but if you are, you'll love this interior. The last cognac interior we did was for the founder of Red Bull. He did it with that midnight blue. Absolutely beautiful. That builds in Germany now. Pretty cool. All right, so Raven Black, beautiful color, cognac interior. All this right here, the entire roll bar is completely covered in Alcantara, all the way down through your A-pillar, everything up here, all wrapped in Alcantara. This is leather right here, and there's very, very little to no plastic inside. And even the handles here, your oh shit handles, are grab handles are billet aluminum. And so this one is getting very close to finishing assembly. And then after we finish assembly, it goes through a series of checks, and it has, thank you, it goes through road testing. And before we do road testing, we check every single item, because now our people are going to get in the vehicle. So after after it gets ready for road testing, we bring it to our alignment rack, which I'll show you over here. And on the alignment rack, we ensure it's roadworthy and ready for test miles. And during test miles, this is where we have a very rigorous process that we follow, all data driven, all recorded, and we are checking every single function, mechanical component, and we're listening for squeaks, leaks, rattles. And the expectation when we're done with test miles is that that car is ready to ship. And we did 900 hours of surgery to the vehicle. So we need to make sure everything is working properly and perfect before we get it ready for delivery. We also test for water intrusion and leaks. So yes, it is a soft top, but it doesn't matter. We want you to be able to drive it 365 days a year if you want to. It's actually raining right now in Atlanta, and so perfect day for it, but even if it wasn't raining, we would test every seam, every gap, and this is our own custom engineered soft top. It doesn't flap in the wind, and it doesn't leak either. So you're not in a really sunny place year round. You can drive it in the snow, in the rain. You don't have to think twice about it. So it goes on test miles. Let me take you back over here. And then it goes through our inspection tunnel. Okay, mallard green, beautiful spec. And this one right here is going through our initial inspection station by Nathan. Nathan has over 300 checkpoints that we go through, even though we've already done major and in-station tests and checks at every single station. We check it again. Now that we've had heat cycles, drove on the freeway, slammed on the brakes, done water testing, full documentation for every single build down to the build number. And then we call through everything again. And this is, I think he told me it's like a 6 or 8 hour process, right? And so after we go through this station right here, it then moves to our punch list. Before we go there, I want to point out the spec on this one. If this is yours, I absolutely love it. Mallard green, beautiful color. Wimbledon white for the grille and the bumpers and the trim. And so when you go Wimbledon white trim, you get Wimbledon white hinges, Wimbledon white mirrors, hardware, gas cap, bumpers. Very vintage look. If you love that very old school classic vibe, then this is for you. Chrome, which is shiny, and I'll show you that as well. Also very classic. Now, if you want something more modern, we offer a black, satin black, all kind of murdered out. And then wheels come in polished, Wimbledon white, bright white, or satin black. And these are forged aluminum wheels. They're 17-inch. We manufacture these very, very expensive and lightweight. Super high quality wheel. Weighs about 20 pounds. Really light for a 17 that size. And then all this wrapped in a 33-inch BF Goodrich tire. And this is a new option. Tell me if you can see it. Check that out. Mallard green body, mallard green brake calipers. Pretty cool. So that's a new option. And I'll show you a few others where you can see it come through. And right here, while we're standing here, these are the upgraded Fox coilover suspension. It is adjustable as well. So if you want to change the ride sensitivity from hard to soft, all 4 of them you can adjust, but we've already optimized it for you for pavement, street driving, freeway driving. And unlike a traditional classic car, you're probably not going to want to drive an old car on the freeway going 75 miles per hour, right? Number one, the geometry, the wheelbase, the way it handles, the ride quality, it's just very different from your 2025 luxury car. A, and B, you have no safety features. So things you got to think about when you get an old car. With this, not an old car, you're not gonna have to think about that. You're gonna have to think about what colors you want and where you're gonna take this thing, and your kids are gonna beg you to drive it every single time. If you have young kids or even older kids, they're gonna want you to take this car. And no matter what you have in the garage, they will love this because there's something really fun and cool for the whole family about cruising around in one of these. And I've had a lot of cars. And I remember the phase when my kids were young, I was still buying a lot of two-door cars. Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren. And then I realized, I can't take my kids with me, so it's really not that fun. I'm already working my ass off, so I'm almost never home. So when I get home and the kids are around and my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm gonna go for a drive. That didn't go over too well. So finding cars that actually had two usable back seats was like my goal. And I think I have owned arguably every cool car that had usable back seats because I didn't want a two-seater anymore. I want to be able to put my kids in the back. And so I'll have to make a list for you, but there's only so many cool cars that had a comfortable back seat that my wife would allow me to put them in. And so the beauty with this is that you've got your latch system right here. So if they are younger and you need car seats and booster seats, you can latch them right into the seat, and there's a tether here on the back too. Again, modern safety features. So if your wife is like disapproving about taking the kids in the Lamborghini in the front seat, I've done that before, not good, or an old classic car with no safety features, trust me, it is the best of both worlds. And here's the deal. When you have kids, you want to hang out with them, right? And this is an amazing way to spend time together. And I can tell you, during the pandemic, our business blew up massively because people are changing the way they're spending their money and looking for ways to do things together as a family. And so this right here, I think if you're looking for a justification on spending 250 grand, it's a family car. It really is. You can drive this with your family. They're going to love it. Amazing sound system. Almost everyone tells us they go Safari top, they remove the windows, they have the premium audio 10-inch subwoofer back there. You're gonna win cool mom, cool dad, cool mom, dog dad award for the coolest car that's fun to drive, safe to drive. Kids are absolutely welcome in it unless you pick Snow White interior like Mark Wahlberg did, and you can enjoy it and you're not gonna think twice about it. That is the difference between a modern classic and a restoration or a rest-a-mod. And we know because we used to build both. And they were great looking cars. And at the time, it was the best you could get. But today, because we've unveiled a fully modernized classic inspired, built on a modern car chassis, you don't have to compromise anymore. And I'm gonna show you some things here on this really beautiful one-of-one edition. This is Pebble Beach Green. It's our demo. And we cannot wait to finish this. Everyone is drooling over this, is fighting over driving this thing. And look at the paint on this. This is a custom one-of-one paint color. Does not exist. We mixed it ourselves. And what we did was we paired it with Wimbledon white on the roll bar, Wimbledon white on the dash, and then we went with these really cool retro wheels. I love these wheels, not just because we made them, but because, again, it's the blend of vintage and modern. You'll never see this again. So this wheel looks like an old steel wheel from the 1960s, but those are heavy, and I don't think they pass US DOT compliance, right? Whereas these are brand new 17-inch forged aluminum wheels. So if you're like into really expensive wheels like HRE and those types, this would be the equivalent of like a $10,000, $12,000 set of wheels. Super lightweight, looks old, and then check that out. Matching, body matching brake caliper, are you kidding me? I'm keeping this one. All right, I always say that. It is our demo, and we can be convinced. So if you want this and you are dying for something now and you don't want to wait, it's a demo truck. We haven't even finished it yet. We've got one more station to go. Tomorrow it'll be done, and then we're going to be putting miles on it, getting content, and just enjoying this absolute beauty. And it's called Pebble Beach, by the way, because when I was in Pebble Beach for Monterey Car Week, if you were there, you probably saw us driving around. We had a gold champagne Burberry edition and a lavender one that we brought to Monterey Car Week in, I think it was August. And the lavender one was a one-of-one edition we built for Jeff Miller. Jeff Miller Cars. Google him. Jeff Miller has an impressive car collection. Bugatti Chiron, Koenigsegg Jesko, Ferrari SF90XX Stradale, I can't even say it, Porsche GT3 RS. What else does he have? He's got a ton of cars. He brought a lot of them, not even all of them. And he brought it to Monterey Car Week. And we delivered that one-of-one lavender legacy build for him. And this is a guy who has multi-million-dollar cars, super picky, and he told us that the fit and finish of our vehicles, the details and the craftsmanship were every bit on par with any other car he owned. 2 days after I delivered that car to Jeff, I saw him at the hotel and he pulled me aside and he also told me that it gets more looks, more thumbs up, more waves, more smiles, more people loving the car than just about any other car he owns. That right there, I felt was the greatest compliment we could get. And since then, we've delivered to other supercar owners who also agree. Really, really cool. And the team, they deserve all the credit because to be able to pull this off, handcrafted at this quality and scale. It's not like we're just building, like one of these a month. It is nearly impossible. It's a testament to our team, our people, our process, and they just do an exceptional job. I mean, just look at the faces of these guys. They really love what they do. And this company was started purely out of passion by me. I never started this company to make money. And quite frankly, when I was fixing my old Bronco that was breaking down all the time, I would have laughed at you if you told me I would be doing this. But now I actually believe, and I'm very sure of it, I was born to this. And I was born to lead this team to build something that had never been built before at this level of quality and scale. And what it was we took the classic car and we made it better. And that's not an opinion, it's just a fact. We made it drive better, we made it safer, we made it more luxurious, and then we attached a warranty to it that'll blow your mind because it's just how we think. Our warranty, hey Cameron, how are you?
Hey, sure, doing well. How about
Great, doing well. Our warranty is white glove, bumper to bumper, meaning that if anything pops up after delivery, you have a concierge who's your main single point of contact through the entire journey. They give you updates, they send you pictures and video, they help coordinate your delivery, and they do the walkthrough as well. If anything comes up after delivery, it doesn't matter what it is, cosmetically, mechanically, bumper to bumper, we own the entire responsibility of everything on this truck, front to back, top to bottom, inside and out. It doesn't matter. And if we can't handle it remotely, then we will send our full-time certified traveling technician to your home, no matter where you live. And we're gonna do it very, very quickly because we don't think that if something went wrong that we did, that you should have to wait, that you should have to go anywhere, you should have to call somebody that knows and know you, and you shouldn't have to pay for it either. That gives you an idea of just how confident we are in our quality, in our build process, and our overall customer philosophy. We love this. This is an obsession for us. So if you choose to buy a car from Vintage that's handcrafted by this amazing team, we're gonna stand behind it, and we reverse engineer perfection in everything we do. Perfect warranty, obviously, would be nothing goes wrong, which is very, very unlikely, but if it does, quick to respond, person you know, no inconvenience for you, and no cost, right? Makes a lot of sense. But I've had lots and lots of cars, all of the top brands, Bentley, Lamborghini, Aston Martin, Ferrari, McLaren. None of them come to my home and they always charge me something. The service advisor calls up and goes, all right, well, here's the deal. We'll cover this, but we won't cover that. I hate that. The car already costs 300 grand. So fit and finish, quality, craftsmanship, exclusivity, customization, and then warranty and service. Isn't that everything you could possibly want from your car? Oh yeah, it's not gonna break down. and it's not going to drive like an old car, because I've driven those before, and if you've never driven an old car, trust me, you're not going to like it. And the biggest thing is that almost all of our customers have families, kids, grandkids. And as a builder of vehicles, you really think about what that means for you and your customers. And I'll show you the history of restoration, modern restoration, fully modernized classic. And this is how we got there. Started with an old car, my own, 1974 Bronco. Got it home, dream car since I was a kid, always wanted one, got it home 10 feet away, quickly regretted that decision. Let's just put it this way. We're so spoiled by modern day engineering and reliability and technology. It's very hard to go back 50, 60 years in a time. And that's just if you have a normal modern car. Now, imagine having really nice modern cars. It was unbearable. And so, wanted to fix my own car because I still loved the idea. And in that time, I bought a Land Rover Defender, Toyota FJ Land Cruiser, H1 Hummer, old Broncos, two-door G-Wagons. I've had a bunch of old cars, and they're all the same. They look nice, they all look cool. Everybody loved them when I was driving down the street, but they didn't know how stressed I was about driving the car because of the way it drove, how stressed I was about will I make it, will it break down, and the fact that I didn't have modern safety features, it was very limited on where I could go, who I could go with, how far I could go, how fast I could go, and when I could go. Let's put it this way, if I had a really important meeting, there's no way I was taking that thing because I couldn't be late, right? And it was with my kids, my wife would let me, but she was hesitant. Okay, well, where are you going? Ice cream. All right, how many miles? 1. All right, what's the max speed? 25. Not fun. Okay, so restoration, short-lived, built them, really, really nice, put us on the map, started Instagram, and then boom, magic started happening. You guys started following, liking, sharing, and something special came about. We built a brand, and the brand was always about passion and love and quality and asking one question: how do we make it better? We never stopped making it better. And so we did restoration. We said, you know what? Our clients, what they really want is a restaurant. All the craze of the last few years. And that was when we moved in this building, built an assembly line, built a team, built process, built supply chain, and we built one of the world's nicest, in my opinion, restaurants. Same deal. Craftsmanship was really good, fit and finish really good, but here's the problem with older cars. Narrow track width, short wheelbase. Do the math. Narrow track width on that old 1969-70 Bronco and on this Restomod, even though it's more modern and better than the old restoration, it still had a narrow track width and it still had a short wheelbase. And around this time, the brand really blew up. And we had all kinds of VIP clients and celebrities and athletes. And I remember thinking, gosh, I have a feeling that at this price point, over $250,000, that our customers who know what good looks like, what it feels like, what it should be, are gonna feel a difference between this car and especially that one over their normal G-Wagon, Range Rover, Urus, Cullinan, Bentayga, all the cars that they had. And I knew that because I had the same cars. And so they always loved the car, they always loved the service, they always loved the fit and finish and the quality, but they wanted it to drive better. But you can only do so much to make a short wheelbase, narrow track width vehicle with solid axles drive better. Now get this, solid axles are great if you're a hardcore off-roader, but I can count on the number of people who actually off-roaded this thing. Just like your G-Wagon Range Rover, you probably don't off-road it. But hey, if you do and you can, and great, hey, more power to you, nothing wrong with that. However, for street driving, freeway driving, you're combining solid axle, short wheelbase, narrow track width, definitely not a luxury vehicle. So then what we did was we did something no one else had ever done before. We said, what does perfect look like? Well, number one, it cannot break down, period. Number two, make it drive like a modern car. Number three, give me all the technology that I'm used to. Number four, make it luxurious, because for 250, 300 grand, that thing better be luxurious. And the number one thing that people wanted and asked for, that we and no other company in the world could give them, in a restoration restaurant was modern safety features. So there was only one choice. Let's not try to make an old car more modern anymore. We did a lot, and we pushed the envelope. We were maniacal about it and relentless, and all the engineers said, okay, you can't do any more. This is as good as it's gonna get. Okay, fine. Then let's not try to force a square peg in a round hole. Let's take a modern car chassis and build a vintage car on top of it. And this right here, this chassis, very, very important part of your decision-making process here. So unless you're a car expert, and even if you are, then you'll agree and understand, you're gonna wanna pay attention here. A modern 2025 chassis has all of the modern day engineering, all the modern technology, all of the modern day reliability. And I'm gonna respond to this here because it's just incorrect. I see comments about two things that are just incorrect. Number one, when they say that new car reliability, haha, let me tell you something. If you think your new car is not reliable, trust me, your 1960s car is definitely not gonna be reliable. So think about it, it's not even a debate. 1960s engineering, design, technology compared to 60 years of advancement, trust me, it's better. So reliability, check. Now, the safety features are something that are also misunderstood. You want your car to have safety features because today, I mean, when I'm driving around, I see people texting, putting on their makeup, eating breakfast, autopilot, not paying attention, asleep. You're gonna want safety features, right? Everybody's texting and driving today. So you cannot put safety features in a restoration or restaurant. Believe me, it was like one of my first questions. And when I found out you couldn't, I just kept saying, are you sure? Can we try? And then, that's just how I think, right? No limiting beliefs. We want to reverse engineer perfection. We don't care what it takes. And we're going to ask the questions. And when we found out we couldn't, then we said, well, then it's pretty clear. What you want is modern safety features already built in to your chassis. I'm sure you're standing here looking at this thinking, you know what, I'm not a technical person, engineer. You don't need to understand any of this. We already made the decision for you. Modern chassis has crumple zones built into the frame. And what happens is today, when you look at an accident, the car crumples. And you think to yourself, wow, they don't build them like they used to. Incorrect. They may not make them as good looking like they used to. But one thing they definitely do is they build them better than they used to from a safety perspective. And here's why. Crumple zones are meant to crumple. Well, why the heck do you want your car to crumple? Crumple zones allow the weight transfer during an accident to absorb around you. You don't want a 50, 35, whatever mile per hour vehicle hitting you and transferring that weight into your body. Trust me. Instead, all of that is managed in the chassis. And so you have crumple zones in your frame. You have side impact beams in your doors, also not a thing in the 1960s. You have a functional roll bar, not decorative, tied to the chassis, right? And you have technology like traction control, roll sensor, stability control, pre-collision assist, right? Not paying attention, car slams on the brakes, beeps, flashes, and will brake for you. These are all built in. And here's the thing, you live with this every day. You just don't think about it. By the way, nor should you. We don't want you to have to worry about that. We worried about it for you and made a huge bet. We figured out that our customers, they're not purists, they're not collectors, they're not numbers matching all original people. What they like is what they like. Luxury, reliability, service, quality, craftsmanship, technology. And at this price point, they wanted to drive the car. And whether you have kids or not, or grandkids, if you want to drive your car, it needs safety features because God forbid something happens, as much as you love cars, you're probably not going to want the outcome that you'll get if you don't have safety features. So this right here is the biggest difference. And the number one difference I can tell you by far are going to be airbags. The day my wife found out that my old trucks didn't have airbags, she was like, nope. And my kids were 8 and 10 or 9 and 11 at the time. And I felt a certain amount of guilt and pressure because I take them anyway. But then I'd be like, no, I'm gonna take them real slow. We're not gonna leave the neighborhood. We're just gonna get ice cream. And then I just thought, wow, this is like very limited in how I can use it. 6 airbags changes the game because it's exactly what you have today, if not 8 airbags. So you got one right here, one in the front passenger side, one in each of the front seats, and then you got those curtain airbags right here too. Let me tell you something about who we are and how we do things. We don't do anything halfway, we do it all the way. And so this is what we did. 900 hours of surgery, brand new, stamped, designed, classic inspired steel body from Detroit, American made. Hundreds of labor hours transforming this vehicle, an interior that will blow your mind. I promise you, if you have a Range Rover G-Wagon, you're gonna get your G-Wagon and go, okay, G-Wagon's jealous now. G-Wagon, that's plastic. This is every little detail. But after all that transformation, to do it right, you need to make sure everything works. You need to make sure it's FMVSS compliant. Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards. And so we went all the way and we got FMVSS compliant through testing and certification. And what that means is this airbag right here with our beautiful leather and stitching has been tested. We know it's going to work. This really, really nice airbag cover, that is the most critical one of all of them. You're going to drive the car, you definitely want this, and you want it to be dual stage. We didn't just put that on there and kept our fingers crossed. We tested it. We blew the airbags. And then we did the unthinkable, because no one had ever done it before. Because we're not a big OEM, we're not a brand new car manufacturer at all. This is a hand-built vehicle, aftermarket on a modern car chassis. So if we do all that, if we really want to know if it's fully tested and safe, we crash test it. So we crash tested it. And I don't mean like in the backyard or like in the parking lot. We went to the same crash test company, globally recognized, works with the biggest OEMs in the world. And we went through the same crash tests just to ensure that all of these modifications we did will still ensure that all the safety features are 100% working. Full frontal, high and low speed, side impact, rear impact. No one's ever done that before. And I can tell you something, no restoration or Restomod, no matter how modern you try to make it, including the ones that we did, could ever pass FMVSS compliance and crash tests. It's just not possible. And when we knew that, there was a huge decision to make, because I can tell you, to do all this stuff, you can imagine, it was very, very hard. Huge investment of time and massive capital investment. But we knew that if we wanted to build the product that our clients wanted at the $250,000 price point, you had to make it look nice, you had to make it luxurious, you have to give them technology, you have to give them all the things they want. And to give them safety, you can't just do this, right? You could try to do this, but to do it right, you got to do this. FMVSS compliant and crash tested. So, if you have questions and you want to learn more about our build process, what we have in progress, custom build, that Brittany blue one over there, that's going to be done by next week, or the one that we have up for grabs, ready for guaranteed Christmas delivery, then reach out to us by text or by phone. And I can tell you something, it's the team and the people and the passion that's allowed us to do that. It was extremely difficult to do this, but A, we knew we had to if we wanted to build a great company, and B, because we listen to our customers, we listen to you, right? You're watching this right now, you've been considering one of these, you always had reservations, you're nervous about this, your wife didn't want you to get a car that's old, it's gonna break down and leak. I went through the same thing, and my wife was right. And in reality, the tipping point of the entire history of the company came down to one moment. A few moments, but one big one was when my wife came with me in my old restoration, and I took her on date night, She's all dressed up, looking good. And we get out of the car, and she smells her hair, and she smells her dress. I'll never forget. I don't remember exactly what she said. I may not be able to repeat it, but she was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And that's sad, because that was my dream car. And in that moment, and the other moments I can tell you were when I kept breaking down on the side of the road. Guys, I know if you can afford this price point, you're not breaking down on the side of the road, right? Me neither. But when you get broken down on the side of the road in Georgia, in the sun, in the heat, in the summertime, over and over, you start to say to yourself, this is crazy. Like, I'm not doing this, you know? And it only took a few times of my wife coming to get me and Uber and just constantly breaking down. And my mechanic, he had a good deal. I paid him a lot of money. It was always in the shop, and I had a lot of classic cars always being fixed. And I was like, wow, how come it can't just look vintage and drive like my G-Wagon and give me the modern technology that I'm used to, like Apple CarPlay? I need a touchscreen navigation or I'm getting lost. Give me normal factory dual zone climate control. Give me all of the things I need, like USB, remote start, alarm. Give me shift on the fly 4-wheel drive, right? If it's cold out, I don't want to get out in 20-degree weather to lock or unlock my manual locking hubs, if you even know what that means, right? Those are all the things you have to do with a classic car, and that's if everything goes well. If it doesn't go well, you need a speed dial mechanic, and you need to be ready to take Uber, because it's not a matter of if, it's when. And I tell you all this not to scare you. I just let you know what it is you're getting into, because it takes somebody who's from the outside. I didn't come from automotive. I came from technology, which is a dangerous combination, because I had bought and sold over 50 of the nicest cars you can buy all myself, purely out of passion. And I had a technology background, which was always about innovation and making things better. Not incrementally better, but like 10x better. And when I combined my passion for cars with my background in technology, and then built a team of people who shared that same passion, that was when things really started to transform. And we focused maniacally on people and process and parts. What you see here today are just an amazing team of people who are committed to the mission. They love what they do, and they care immensely about perfection. They care. It's not like we have to catch them doing it wrong. Like, they want it to be perfect. Guys like Morris right here, who pour their blood, sweat, and tears. Guys like Ken over here, who, like, every single little detail that gets done is all meticulously thought through, put together, and then quality checked. And this is our sub-assembly area where a lot of those detailed behind-the-scenes things go down. And you can just see the level of detail that it takes to pull this off. Not just one time, not just 2 times, but it's an everyday thing for us. And it's super rare. So I hope you guys enjoy watching it as much as we enjoy doing it. And it's not that it's always perfect. I'll be transparent. This shit is hard. Building a car company has to be one of the hardest things to do outside of building an aircraft company or space travel. Luckily, we signed up for the 3rd hardest one. And it's because you have people, process, and parts, and none of them are perfect at first. It's the relentlessness, the feedback loop, the root cause analysis, and the speed and the urgency and the ability to do a lot with very little and do it really well. And that is what we did. And I really can tell you that it's a case study on building a company, because everything goes wrong. And you either solve the problems or you don't. And we're not 100% perfect, but I can tell you is that the fit and finish, the quality, the craftsmanship, the vehicle, the way it drives, all of that, you're going to be very, very happy with. And I've yet to see a delivery where the customer wasn't more than happy with what they got. And it's a big purchase, right? You can't just go down the street and go drive it like your Lamborghini dealership. What I can tell you is go study all of our posts. Go look at everything we post online. Go talk to our team. Reach out to us by phone, by email. Read the reviews. They're all real. And I can tell you that this right here can only be done by a team that is obsessed with the quality of their work. And every single time something wasn't completely perfect. It didn't matter what it was. We ran a process, we had a feedback loop, and we always went back to people, process, and parts. And you can see the scale at which we build, which still, by the way, is very, very small compared to even the most exclusive cars ever made. Porsche GT3 RS, I think they make like 2,500 of those globally. We're a tenth of that. So you'll never, almost never see another one of these out there. And I think that if you were buying this car, if you're like me, I didn't want the same car that everybody else had. You're good, man. I didn't want the same car everybody else had. And, you know, you pull up to a restaurant, to a club, to the country club, and all your buddies have the same black Range Rover, the same, you know, black G-Wagon. Maybe you got a AMG G63 instead of the 550. You know, maybe you got the Brabus because you want it to be different. Let me tell you something about different. If you can buy this vehicle, you've probably done something right. And more than likely, you can relate to the story of this founding story, which is a founder who had no money but loved cars and basically just hustled and hustled and hustled and worked and fought and scratched and clawed and scraped his way to success just so we buy cars. And it literally went from buying an old car that broke down so much that I had two choices: get rid of it, move on, or make it better. And be careful what you wish for, because I chose to make it better. To this day, I've disappeared off the face of the earth and pretty much thrown everything I've got at it, because there's a huge opportunity here to give the world what they want. What they wanted was a classic inspired vehicle with no compromises, fit and finish and quality of what you'd expect at this price point, and it really is art. So at the end of the day, I don't know that I'm an artist or a scientist, but I can tell you we have both, and that is how they pulled this off. And they do such an amazing job with it. This is macadamia metallic, beautiful color, has the vintage stripes. We did a macadamia metallic for John Legend that didn't have stripes and had chrome trim. This one here has white trim, white grill, looks like an ice cream sandwich. You could eat this thing. And check out that show quality paint job. And when we show other builders our vehicles, that to me is also a testament to the team. They say, looks like OEM. The quality and the fit and finish and the details are just insane. So there you have it. Macadamia metallic. I don't know where this one's going, if this is yours. I can't wait for you to get it. Listen to that sound. Absolutely beautiful. Got the polished wheels, got the upgraded Fox suspension. Here's your tailgate. And this right here doesn't get any better than this. On a really nice day out, go to the beach, or maybe it's super cold and you got a blanket back here, you got your music going, you got your hidden cooler back here, throw some ice in there. Rated for 500 pounds. I remember the day we tested that. We took 3 of our heavy guys and they sat on it, and you can absolutely sit and hang out. This one right here, Wimbledon white, I love this color combination. Black wheels, which you don't see often on Wimbledon white, chrome trim, and then I love this Raven black grill. Damn, that looks good. And I'll tell you, in a world full of G-Wagons and Range Rovers and Lamborghini Uruses, you pull up in this, you're gonna see this coming a mile away. First of all, it's an imposing, big vehicle. It's wide and it's thick with 2 C's, as my kids would call it. And then you have this stout body, classic, but modern technology like LED lights. Great looking spec on this. Nice work. Black soft top to go with black wheels and black grille. Chef's kiss, beautiful. And you will know if this is in your town, every single time it goes by, everybody's head's gonna turn and go, damn, whose car is that? And then you're gonna sit there with your Lamborghini Urus Performante and they're gonna be like, cool. All right, I have one of those too. I like Range Rovers, G-Wagons, and all those cars, but there's something special about this. Boxwood green, Wimbledon white grille, chrome trim, tan soft top, worn glove on the interior, chalk gray, chrome trim, all body matching. I love this, by the way. Body matching, super clean, chrome trim, and on the inside, let's be real careful here because it's white. Snow white leather. Winter is coming. Take a look at that. And these right here, billet aluminum. No one does that, right? And I think what happens is these big car manufacturers, they're all publicly traded and they're all about earnings and margin and all that kind of stuff. Not to sound irresponsible, but we never worried about margin. We never worried about what it was going to cost because we knew that if we optimize for quality, make it the best, not the cheapest or the most profit, make it the best. Take no shortcuts, stamp our own panels out of steel. We could have done it out of China and Taiwan. We could have done plastic or some other kind of composite material. We went with steel. And along the way, everybody's like, are you sure? That's really expensive, it's gonna take a long time, there's cheaper ways. We didn't care. All we cared about was that it was going to be the best and we didn't want to compromise. And what really gave us a lot of confidence too, to be honest, is that we already been in restoration and we knew what that was like. We'd already built Restomods, really nice ones. And we listened to client feedback. And I can tell you, that seems so obvious, but if you run a business and you want to be the best, there's one path to get there. Listen to your customers. They will tell you everything you need to know. And because we had already had a very successful brand, tons of orders, lots of builds in the queue, lots of chances to get customer feedback, we got the feedback and we listened, and it wasn't easy when someone tells you that your baby's cute, but, love it, but to me, the way I'm programmed, I'm all about the but, meaning like, tell me, what's up? What do you not love? What do we need to change? And when they told me it was things that you could not do on a Restomod chassis, it's what drove us to build this fully modernized classic. And it's incredible to think that all those years and all that time and all that effort and energy, we were right, because our customers today, vehicle after vehicle, when we deliver them every day, all over the US and all over the world, by the way, the feedback is unanimous. They love it. And that, to me, that's probably the first time I'll use the word happy as far as building the business goes in a long time. Because if you don't have that, you really don't have anything. And here's the great part. I say happy, I'm half kidding. We celebrate wins here. Here's what I'm really happy about. I know that we're just gonna keep getting better and better and better, because these people, this team, this process, these guys, they care a lot. And every single day when we complete a vehicle and we go through final inspection, there's a score. And that score is either 100% perfect or it's not. And it's broken out by people, process, and parts. And I can tell you, our people, they're really curious. Did I make my 18, 20 steps perfect or not? And if it's not, there's no pushback, there's no defensiveness, there's no, anything other than tell me, teach me, how do I do it better? What do I need to do differently? And I can tell you, most of the time, it's not our people. It's usually process, or it's parts. And that is why we constantly look for the very best vendors, which, by the way, if you're a vendor watching this and you believe that you share the same philosophy and passion and obsession for detail, and if we hold you to a high standard, we grade every single incoming part that you make for us, and you're okay with that, and you know what the goal is for it to be on one of the finest vehicles of a $250,000 base price, and you think that you can do that on time with perfection, then reach out to us, because we're always looking for great vendors. But here's the truth. What we found is we have to make our own parts, because who else is going to make them at the quality we want, on the schedule that we want, because on-time delivery is really big deal for us, and we've been let down a bunch of times. And so what we did was we started vertically integrating. Check this out. Midnight blue brake calipers. How cool. Midnight blue body, midnight blue brake calipers. I love that. I'm gonna go pick out one where it really shows through. This is a little bit darker. But the point is that if you can't buy it, then you have to build it. And we're open to either one. All right, this right here, I'm not gonna open the whole thing, but this is the world's coolest car cover. And God forbid you'd ever have to cover up this piece of art. This is the way to do it. If you check our page, really high quality product, super nice, made in Italy, partners here at Goodwill, they do a fantastic job. And here's a cool thing. If you buy a car cover for your car, it will match the exact specs. You have stripes, the car cover has stripes. You have black wheels or white wheels or whatever color top, it's gonna match, which is really cool. And I think our customers, they love the car so much, they drive it a lot. You don't think you're gonna drive this a lot because you still have in your head that it's an old car. It's not an old car. It's a 2025, and it will be your favorite car. And I want to give a shout out to Supercar Ron. Speaking of Midnight Blue, go look him up on Instagram. Supercar Ron out of Utah. Funny guy, significant in the car community, major big time collector. Ferrari F40, Carrera GT, Aston Martin Valkyrie. The guy is a crazy car nut. Lexus LFA, Skylines. I can make a whole list. Go look at it. He has a Midnight Blue modern classic truck, and he swears by it. He says that this car, out of every car he owns, gets more thumbs up, more people asking questions, more people loving it and smiling and wanting to take pictures than any other car he owns. Wait a minute, how? How is that possible? I know what kind of cars he has. He has a $4 million Aston Martin. How can this get more love and attention? I'll tell you why. The appeal of this vehicle is special. It's not a go fast, like exotic car that, you know, only a few people know. It's just this beautiful, timeless, and quiet luxury. And I think this is also part of it too. Because here's the deal. When you can afford a car like this, you may not want to go down the street in a, you know, bright yellow Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. You might just want to fly on the radar. And what's really cool about this is quiet luxury. What I mean by that is that if you know, you know. Because this old looking vintage classic inspired vehicle, it could be a restoration, it could be a $25,000 car, it could be a $250,000 car. And the beauty of it is that you can drive it around and you have the luxury of knowing that it's reliable, it's going to drive like your normal car, and it has modern safety features. Big, big deal. Okay, all right. I will show you one more time this Brittany Blue on the line, not this one. This is a client build. Check that out. Worn glove interior. Very, very nice spec. This one right here, up for grabs, for sale. Get it now. It will not last. They never make it to completion. So this one right here is in station 1, going to be assembled and ready and completed by next week, ready to ship. You could be driving this by next weekend. Text or call us before it's done. This right here, call it mine, probably not going to last. Pebble Beach green. Never finished the story, by the way. I was in Pebble Beach and I see a green Carrera GT. If you're there, you know which one I'm talking about. It's probably your friend's car. And the guy had a custom kind of greenish paint color, and that thing had the loudest exhaust I've ever heard. Porsche Carrera GT V10, just sick sounding. And I saw it and I was like, ooh, that color is beautiful. And so we made our own version and we called it Pebble Beach, and that's our demo truck. And this demo truck we use for test drives, for photo shoots, and just to enjoy. So I'll take this down to Miami hopefully. And here you can see the Roush Performance Package, intake, exhaust, tune. This is a one-of-one edition, meaning we will never make another one just like this, period. One of one allows you to lock in the spec as the eternal owner of that exact customization. So, for example, that Lavender Legacy we did for Jeff Miller, we'll never repeat it the same way. Built a one-of-one for Kevin Hart, triple black, all custom, never build the exact same car again. And with this one being a demo for us, we built it as a one-of-one. Never done it before, we'll never do it exactly the same again. So if you're big into that, you want exclusivity, you want to make sure that nobody else has what you have, then that's what you want. Or go in our configurator and build one out and shoot us a text or give us a call, and we will walk you through that build process and see when we can get you on the build schedule and make your dreams come true. Okay, All right, well, I hope I didn't forget anything, but appreciate you guys joining us today. Hey, Bryce, how are you?
How you doing, Joe?
I'm great, man. Bryce here putting on the final touches of final detail before we do final inspection and management buy-off. And this is really, I think for everyone, our favorite and hardest step. Finishing it on time with perfection. Perfection cosmetically and mechanically. And that's all you can ask for, right? You order a car, you want it on time, and you want it to be perfect, and God forbid, if anything pops up after delivery, highly unlikely, we're there. Very quickly, we stand behind it. And we are so confident that you will absolutely love it. If you've always wanted a classic car, but you couldn't deal with the old car problems and you need safety features, this is it. Okay, text or call us, grab that Brittany Blue on the line before it sells, or someone for Christmas is going to have a very special gift, which is that last open build slot. You can customize it, and if you want to make it a surprise, we've done lots of surprises. We can help you with that too. Okay, all right guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for all of your support, and from all of us here in Atlanta, Georgia, we appreciate all of the love, and couldn't do it without you. All right guys, have a great day.